Welcome to another Cup O Joe, and I have a return guest, my longtime friend, Mike Spencer. Welcome, Mike, Spencer Group, Inc.
Good to be here, Joe. Appreciate the opportunity. Good to see you.
Thanks for being here. Raise that coffee mug.
I know. Now I did a better job. This is my second try, so at least I didn't waste all the time trying to position it in the screen.
Hey, we have to practice. We can't be good at everything right away.
Exactly.
All right. So, backed by popular demand, Mike, the calls and emails we got saying, when is Mike Spencer going to come back on? Are just like, I'm getting tired of it. So I finally talked to our producers and our funders and sponsors, and they said, all right, let's get Mike Spencer on again. So Mike is a database, data analytics, I should say, guru for individual giving, annual fund, major giving, plan giving, working with lots of organizations, all sizes, all sectors for 35 years. And you've done a lot of great work for our clients. So thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure, Joe.
Yeah, today's topic is, I'm not sure what it is. Let's call it big dog, little dog. And so I'm going to share a photo. This is a local dog park. We have a dog, Chai, about 32 pounds. He's kind of the size of this dog, this dog, though, is in the small dog area. So I'm standing there scratching my head saying, where should we go? Should we go in the small dog or the large dog? And how do you tell the difference? It does say 30 pounds or less, and then here it says all dogs are welcome. So then, of course, I'm always thinking of how can I make this into a video and fundraising. And I think sometimes that we look at our donors, look at the file and say, oh, this donor is only giving $300 gifts or $500 gifts. They're not a major donor. And they get often overlooked. So I thought that might be a helpful topic, and especially someone like you who understands donor behavior so well. No pressure, Mike. Take it away.
Yeah, sure. And I think this is a good follow-up to our last conversation when we were talking about how important it is to pay attention to those loyal donors. You know, the small dogs that show up at the dog park all the time. They're always there. Helping out, making friends with the other dogs. You're right. I think it's important to, and actually, I think part of it too is I think we have to be careful not to put donors into too many silos. In other words, the only thing that sometimes differs from a donor is their capacity to give. And, we're so focused on the major donors that we sometimes forget about the donors who aren't major donors or aren't leadership donors, that they behave in the same way. The reasons for supporting the organization might be the same. And the other thing too, in terms of their long-term value, you may have donors that can make a large one-time gift, but as we've talked about before, donors who give loyally over a long period of time are great prospects for plan gifts, because that's a gift of assets rather than a gift of income. So I think what helps is to understand the behavior of a donor. And one of the things I've learned, or we've learned over the years, is that when a donor becomes a donor for the first time, it's important to get that second gift, because they may renew only at about a 20-30% chance of giving a second gift in the next year. But if you've got somebody who's been giving for multiple years, that number could jump up into the 60s, in some cases into the 70s. So you want to keep your donors active, because and it's human behavior. It's all about keeping them engaged with the organization and preventing them from lapsing, from kind of going elsewhere, because the longer they lapse, the harder it is to get them back on. So I think it's focusing on donor behavior and not just the amount that they give.
And are some of our small donors because they were never asked for more?
Absolutely. That's a good question. And I would say yes. At the end of the day, there are programs that really focus on lower dollar. All they want are low dollar donors. And what they forget is, if they were to do a wealth screening, they would see tremendous wealth on their file. And we're working with an organization right now where that's the case. They built their program on low dollar donations. And once we did some wealth screening, we realized, okay, we got to reach out to these people, because now that we have more information about them.
Great. And I would think, and what I've heard and experienced, is that even wealthier donors will test a charity. I'm not going to write you a $10,000 check, my first gift. I'll write you a $1,000 check and then see how that goes. See how you respond. See how you communicate the impact of my gifts. Just because they have, I can write a $100,000 check, no problem, but I'm not going to do that because I want to test and see if you guys are a good investment, so to speak.
Absolutely. That you got to build that trust. And we find that, say, for example, if we were to analyze an organization, take a look at their 1,000+ donors, those are giving right now, for example, we find that the majority of them have had a first gift of less than 100. So that speaks to your point.
Less than $100.
That's a starting point. Yep. That could be.
Yeah, cool. So can we summarize takeaways here? This is always the hard part, getting into the right.
Sure. It's, I think it's just a matter of understanding donor behavior and then being able to take action and don't necessarily discriminate just because somebody hasn't made a large donation, because today's small dollar donors are either going to be tomorrow's large donors or tomorrow's plan giving donors.
Wonderful. Mike Spencer, Spencer Group. You want to do a quick 10-second commercial?
Yeah, sure. We have products out there that'll help organizations learn more about their donor base and pursue opportunities, prioritize their donors, and just reach out to me. You can reach me by email at mike@spencergroupinc.com, and I'd be glad to talk to you.
Thank you, Mike. And staying in the K9 theme, remember to bark less and wag more.
Sounds good.
Until next time. Thanks.
Thanks, Joe. Bye-bye.